the rate has gone from 5 to 7 up to 9 during the economic climate. So we wanted to just explore other ways in which each of your organizations has been affected by the economic crisis and what you're doing in response. Sorry. Is this on? Can you hear this? All right, can you hear me now? All right. So just to build on that a little bit, we've definitely seen a change, I think, on both ends of the spectrum of our clients. So on one hand, we see more clients come to us that originally were served by banks. So I think, as an example, we can measure the number of clients that are applying to us with credit scores 700 and over with collateral, as an example. Those were a very small percentage previously. They tend to come to us more now because banks are telling them no. On the other hand, I think that the more traditional target niche of who we serve, the immigrant, home-based business, minority-owned, they're in a much more tough situation. These are the first people that are being fired from other jobs, and when they lose their jobs, they don't have the savings to rely on. So that literally means 2 months down the road, they're getting evicted from their homes. So I think we see a lot of those changes happening in our clientele. One of the biggest things that we saw was mortgages, as you can imagine. So for low-income families, it's really, really tough to own a home in this area. It used to be, we looked at 3 years ago, there were probably 11% of our clients that had mortgages, and the average mortgage outstanding was around $130,000. We looked at that last year, and it grew to 17% of our clients had homes, and the average mortgage outstanding was $425,000, which is ridiculous when you think about this as a low-income family. So on the client side, we've definitely seen a lot of that change.
So Women's Initiative is seeing huge volumes of demand, and people are coming to us really desperate. So I would love to say that we can serve everyone who comes to us, but right now we probably have waiting lists even for our classes in April. So there's just a lot of poor women. In terms of our loans, we actually maxed out our portfolio last year because we had so much demand. We did 110 loans directly last year, and we're actually partnering with Opportunity Fund to provide some additional opportunities for loan funds for some of our clients. We're also seeing our at-risk portfolio go up, and we're reworking loans. So we're kind of giving people, some grace period, longer payout. That's of course the benefit of having, an organization that we do what we call relationship-based lending. We lend to people that no one else can because they know us, they've been trained by us. They'll feel really guilty and bad if they don't pay us back because they got so much over time. So they do the rework with us quite well. Yeah, I think that's.
For us at EARN, we're actually seeing some positive effects, and we are seeing some negative effects. So on the positive side, what we're seeing for our individual development accounts is an upsurge in demand. And it's interesting, and I was talking to you earlier about that, but we actually think that the economic crisis has actually tended to focus people on savings, and so that has actually been pretty positive for us. On the negative side, we are seeing some people having to withdraw some of their money because of job losses. We aren't seeing very many foreclosures, which is probably due to the fact that when our savers elect to use their IDA for home ownership, we actually run them through a pretty structured program, and there are actually some prohibitions against predatory lending, so that kind of saves them from the worst of it. The other positive impact of the economic crisis is that I think for the first time, certainly in 8 years, and it might be longer, the whole discussion about savings for low-income working people is really very much front and center at the federal level. And so we plan to capitalize on that, and that we do think is very positive.